Oh my God, sorry. I don't know how it took me this long to mention. I actually just got back from Europe. Like 6 months ago. It was really fun. I went solo traveling for 4 months to go find myself. Spoiler alert, I did not. In fact, I did such a bad job in doing so that when I came back and started going to therapy, like 20 minutes into my first session, my therapist goes to me, "See, your problem is you just don't know who you are yet." And I was like, "That's sick. When do we get to the part where you give me Dexies?" I'm really confused. I was actually meant to be in Europe for 6 months, but I came back a bit early because I started to have quite the mental breakdown while I was in Albania. Because I was in Albania. I spent 6 weeks there for some reason. Ask me what I did. I could not tell you. I did get this flag though. Pretty cool. Okay, this, if you've never seen it before, is the Albanian flag. I am obsessed with it. It is hanging up in my room. I love it. But I was looking at it the other day and I just thought, you know, if the shoe was on the other foot and I maybe, for whatever reason, walked into a man's room and I saw this hanging on his wall, I would be like, that's a red flag. I'm back home now though, obviously, which is good. Living rent-free at my mother's house. I will say the mental rent, super expensive. My mum, she's a bit of a live, laugh, love sort of woman. Like, you know, she's got posters all around the house. She even got me underwear for Christmas last year that says love life on them. Like on the crotch. Which I guess is a nice reminder, especially as a girl with IBS. Irritable bowel syndrome, or as I like to call it, I be shittin'. Nah, it's a good reminder though, you know, like sometimes I feel like this is a safe space, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I'll be on the toilet absolutely fighting for my life. And then I look down and I'm like, oh, true. Oh, good. That's fine. I don't know why I was stressing. My mum's, she's very observant. I learned this about her recently. We went to a Missy Higgins concert together. She turns to me like halfway through the show and goes, oh, she's a good singer, isn't she? As if Missy Higgins was like busking on Burke Street or something. And then she turns to me and she goes, oh, and the band, they're very musical, aren't they? My mum's the kind of woman who would go to the F1 and be like, oh, I think they're speeding. How fast they're going. I do miss being overseas though. I really did have a mental breakdown in Albania, but I'll tell you what, it's way worse having a mental breakdown in the suburb you went to school in. Like, I should have stayed. I miss one of my favourite things I did while I was overseas, went to this like big music festival, and on the last night of the festival, my friend and I decided to take some magic mushrooms, which is why I know you've all been thinking like, oh, she seems so enlightened. That's why. And then we walked past this tent filled with psychics, and truly, I've never been more excited for something in my entire life. I was like, please, let's talk about myself for 30 minutes straight. I'll pay you anything. I will pay you anything at all. And then I got in there and noticed quite quick, it was all a bit of a scam. This psychic was sort of making me do the reading for her, under the guise of something called the Spirit of Light. Have you guys ever heard of this? No, okay. Well, apparently it's inside of me. That's what she told me. And then she'd make me ask the Spirit of Light questions. So I was there like, Spirit of Light, am I gonna be famous? And then she said to me, she said, what's the Spirit of Light telling you? And then we just did that for 30 minutes. And then it gets to the end of the reading and she was like, so how did you find it? Did you feel the Spirit of Light? And I really don't like confrontation, so I was like, yeah, it was really good. And she was like, oh, I'm so glad to hear you say that. I'm so glad, because what you were really feeling deep down inside of you was actually the Spirit of Christ. I was like, so am I going to be famous or not? And she was like, that will be £65, thank you. I was like, amazing. So I walked away, obviously very upset. Like, I fully got catfished by this church bitch. I was not happy. But then the shrooms that I took 30 minutes prior really started to kick in. And I was like, wait, maybe she kind of had a point. like, maybe the Spirit of Christ is within me. And then I put two and two together and I was like, holy fuck, I'm Jesus. I was like, oh my God, I'm literally Jesus Christ. It's the only thing that makes sense. I was like at this music festival trying to turn water into vodka lime sodas. I heard someone refer to me using she, her pronouns, and I was like, my pronouns are actually thee/Lord. Nah. Thank you very much. That is my time. You guys have been so wonderful. Have a great night. Thank you so much.